one of the top experts in the world on sales.
King of collaboration.
He's on the cutting edge, and what he does works.
Jim Padilla.
CEO of Gain the Edge.
He is the leader when it comes to sales and conversions.
A sales and business coach to some of the biggest names in the country.
Jim Padilla is known as the go-to guy for all things sales.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Make More Sales World with Jim and Cyndi here. Jim and Cyndi live on Monday mornings, 10 o'clock. We're coming at you just to bring some different tips, insights, perspectives, and mindsets. So here we are, Jim and Cyndi live show. And and we're actually, hey, we're open to new names on this. Anybody want us to call it something better, we're good with that too. I don't care what we call it. I only care what you get from it. And the reason we started with the whole Jim and Cyndi live is most people don't get to see me and Cyndi together very often. And we both have a lot to bring to the conversation this isn't just about us helping you with business. This is also about you getting to know us and us getting to know you. So, the more as people keep coming into the group, we get good, insight and perspectives on why you're here in the first place. Many different opt-ins, downloads, registrations, offerings. There's a lot of different paths that bring you here. And based on those paths, you're trying to solve a different problem or a different aspect of the same problem. And so we want to always be able to speak to that. So the more we can know about you, the better we can serve you. I mean, it's really that simple. But we also want you to know who we are and what's up. So you get to see us interact together, go, and you're either going to say, yeah, these guys are cool and they know what they're doing, or you're going to say, what the hell's wrong with these crazy people and I don't want anything to do with them. We're good either way. We just want you to be clear on what you're at. If you're here, then we just want you to be able to pay attention, open up, and get as much as you can while you are here. And whatever opportunity we have to be able to invite you to stay longer and help you more, then that's what our objective is. So, good morning, wife, partner. How are you?
Good morning. So yes, while Zoom is updating and changing, there's so many things to learn. I'm still here. I'm still the same. So that's all good. I'm super excited for today. I know you and I, James, spent all weekend on live events. So Jim attended as an attendee, as a registrant of, a dear friend and colleague, Jay Fazette with JVology. And then I attended and supported Susie Carter's Big Money Summit because our team was selling on that 3-day event. It was our second virtual event with Susie and our third live event with her this year. So, I even did a video on Saturday. Like, it's live event season. To me, growing up in retail, and there's the Christmas season. This is like the personal development, business coaching. This is our Christmas season. This is when all the sales come out with live events. And in most businesses, and ours for sure, fourth quarter is the most highly producing and could be the most lucrative quarter of the year. That's why so many people do live events. So I'd love for us to just talk about live events from two perspectives. One, putting one on. Why would you do one? It's a great way to scale your company. And then how to win when you are attending. Because as an attendee, you are a very important part of the experience.
Totally. So let's dive into a few of that. And it's also changing. The landscape's changing.
Yeah.
Because now that everything has gone virtual and we don't really know what's going to happen next year or how long. Most people thought this was going to be 2 weeks. Initially, they said, shelter in place for 15 days. Let's slow the curve. Well, 15 days has become 150 days. And who knows when it's going to end. And so you had better be able to shift in your business and find other ways to reach more people collectively. Mm-hmm. And one-to-many has got to be a great way. It has to be, it's always an effective way to run business. But live events, we've been working in live event space for a long time. In this business model, we've been doing it for 6 years plus. In my business life, I've been doing live events my whole life. When I had my alarm company, we were doing trade shows and home shows and live events, all the time. And then in the mortgage game, same thing. We would rent booths at the state fair. We would go to home shows. We would go up and down the state of California doing shows. Because live events, there's nothing that sells like being in a space with other people, with other humans. And I'm going to give you some metrics, some numbers, just some appealing things here, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of the science behind some of this. So here's a number for you: $300,000, $250,000, $720,000, $550,000, $50,000. Would any of those give you a good boost in your business?
Yes.
Would you appreciate any one of those numbers? How about $1.2 million if we did with Elisa Sasovich?
Sign me up.
Right? Would any of those be beneficial shot in the arm to your business? Right? First of all, raise your hand if you're making any of those numbers: 300, 250, 720, 550, or 50K. Raise your hand if you're making that in a year in your business. Or if you're making that in a month. For some of you, you may be making that in a month. But are you making that in a weekend? Are you making that in a weekend? Now, truth be told, you don't just wake up, have 100 people in a room, do an event, and then go home. There's a lot of prep up front, and there's a lot of follow-up and back. So no joke. Okay, but produce 6 figures in a weekend, or 7, or how about 5? Would you like to be able to go in 3 days' time, knock out a $50,000 event? And that doesn't just mean as a host, it could also mean as an attendee, right? Again, I was an attendee at an event this weekend, and we've got lined up, I lined up about 6 figures worth of revenue from contacts, relation. Now I show up, whenever I show up at an event, I'm fully strategic. I know exactly what I'm trying to do, look for, I participate like it's a competition. I'm there to win in the game of participation. And I think a lot of people miss that. A lot of people don't show up that way. So here's something I want you to see in the from a science perspective. Now, I remember I read an article in the science. It was a psychology today article, and I'm just trying to find it because I want to be able to post for it. It's a really interesting read. It's a couple of years ago, but they talked about human dynamics and relationships, and how the average human relationship is somebody you see 6 times a year. 6 times a year, with 365 days in a year, and 359 of them you don't see this person, yet you classify it as a relationship. Somebody you might see at church once in a while. Somebody you see maybe play, you coach your kid plays on their little league team. Maybe, it's people that you would be around, and you could say you have a relationship. There's people there's people that you would even consider a friend, but you see them, your life takes over. We're busy. We do stuff. And you see somebody 6 times a year because your life is busy. You, your kids, your family, your business, your church, your community, whatever. So 6 times a year, and you consider that a friend. Okay. Now, what about an intimate friend? Somebody you might see once a week. That's 52 times a year. Okay, that's what they're classified as an intimate relationship. Now, obviously, Cyndi and I see each other more than 52 times a year. Right? 52 times a day. But now, I had a friend that I coached basketball with, Ron Gully, and we literally saw or spoke to each other every single day for an 8-year period. There were, I won't say 365, let's just say 350, maybe 15 days a year where we weren't talking, strategizing, planning, scouting, putting coaching plans. We were all in, which is why we had a very successful program that we coached. And this was high school athletes. This wasn't business coaching. But what equivalent what that article was saying is we saw each other 350 times a year over 8 years. That's 2,800 times a year we connected, or 2,800 times. And the average relationship, if an intimate relationship, was 52 times a year. That means we saw each other the equivalent of like 25 years of relationship in that short period of time. Now, what if you take 8 hours a day for 3 days? It's 24 hours in a day. You've already seen in 3 days, you've generated the average human relationship, which says 6 days of contact in a year. And you've put that all into a 3-day period in succession. So essentially what's happening is you're creating a year's worth of a relationship in 3 days with people in the room, whether it's you as a mentor working with people, whether it's you as an attendee dealing with the expert and or the community and the people that you're engaging. You're building relationships, you're gaining clarity. And typically, if you're in that room, there's more than likely a lot of common threads between you and the other people. You're on some sort of movement or mission or solving the same problem. There's commonality. So it's not just people. You can go down to the mall and be around people. That ain't the same people on the same mission as you. That's just warm bodies taking up space. But there would still be some commonality, right? Is this making sense or making confusing here? I try, I'm not a scientist. I'm not super detailed on stuff. I tend to take the big picture on this stuff. So if I'm not feeling that it's detailed, it shouldn't be too detailed for you. But the whole point of this is that you want to put yourself into a microwave environment because we can connect quickly with people and we can make great decisions, right? And what you want to be thinking about when you go to these events is, you need to be going all in and paying attention, right? Paying attention. You want to go to learn. You want to be able to go to connect and create community, right? You also want to go and to observe, and we call it macro learn, right? Step above the event. Watch how behavior is being managed. Watch how things are being shared. Watch how people are learning. Watch how things are being taught, because not everybody, but most people who are putting these events on, people like us, we put on hundreds of events. We are event experts, and most of our clients are experts as well, and a lot of our colleagues, a lot of people are experts in this space. Watch people do things and question why they do them. I wonder why they did it that way. I wonder why they set up that way. Or you can get frustrated and be like, oh, they're not giving me as much as I want or where, right? Just pay attention and look at the things you learn. Like, how many things did you learn? We were part of this event, right, with Susie this weekend. And how many things did you learn, Cyndi, by watching
So much,
and participating?
so much. Yeah. And it was really interesting because, we're going to host our own event here in 26 days. And so we are looking and participating and working events with, two hats on at all times. What do we want to take away? And what was so interesting is both these events had very similar attendance levels, about 100 to 120. But they were very different influencers, leaders, and their communities were really different. So like you said, in Jay's event, JVology, it's all about building relationships. And I love what you said, like you literally got a year's worth of relationship ability and connection in 3 days. And then I know the way you connect, you literally got 5 years worth in those 3 days. And there were a lot of breakouts because that was the intention of his event, that there would be a lot of other connections available for everybody who attended. Susie's event is very different. There were less breakouts, and she just does a phenomenal job presenting experts in her community who it's magical to watch. They share their brilliance, but at the same time, they're just edifying Susie and her community. And by the end of day 1 and 2, people are just like, how do I become a part of this? I don't ever want to leave. You are amazing humans. And that's the beauty of watching events for me, is to sit back and just watch, because it's literally a 3-day enrollment conversation and just watching people open.
So here's the things to be thinking about. I want to ask you, are you an event person? Have you been an event person? Do you go to conferences? I watch a lot of YouTube. For those who don't know, I consume an inordinate amount of YouTube videos, and I from everything from content to culture and perspective, and I watch how people structure content. But I'm watching this girl, and I don't even know. I don't have no idea where she got into. She looks like she's 18, but she hates network marketers. Every video is anti-MLM. MLMs are scams. I'm assuming she got screwed over somewhere, but everything she's sharing, there's like these events going on, and she's like, that's nonsense. She watches people cheering and doing stuff and getting emotional, and the whole thing, she's just poo-pooing this whole thing. I'm like, well, I can see some of where she's coming from, but it's like, look, this is real. People are leading groups through a transformation, and you have to get them to engage in certain parts and do certain parts. But the other thing that I've noticed of her is that she's not a participant. She's watching. And I'm tempted to reach out to her and say, come to an event. Let me just get you another perspective here that you haven't seen. And I don't want you to be, or let's put it this way, which one, the person we just described, that Cyndi was describing this event, these events, or the person I was just describing, which one closer represents you? Are you that person going, God, these events are just a bunch of hooey and a bunch of nonsense, rah, rah, blah, blah. Nobody works that way, right? And there's also reasons for it, right? And your event can be your own event. It doesn't have to be all of that. It can be whatever you choose it to be. And then once you choose it to be something, you'll learn some kind of a result, and then you'll decide what needs to change to get a better result, right? So it doesn't have to be the way you see other people doing it. But the other thing that I want to encourage you on is, I just, first of all, don't even think about hosting one yet, right? If there's just two different camps we're talking about, hosting one and attending one. Right now, I want you to just be involved in the event experience. Number one, if you're in lockdown, COVID experience, get involved with some people. Just jump into an event of any kind that what is it you're trying to solve, whether it's spiritual, personal, financial, business, whatever it is, jump into an event and just get connected to other people that are trying to solve the same problems you are and watch it happen. But don't ever do any of this without a strategy. What is it you want to happen from these events? Every event, a good event, should have an event promise. What is it you're going to walk away with, right? So like with our event, the Make More Sales live virtual event, the whole goal is you're going to walk away with the Make More Sales playbook. You're going to learn specific processes to be able to make more sales without having to be a sales expert. We want you winning customers instead of selling stuff, right? And that's what we're going to help you do, right? At JVology, that's past weekend, the whole goal was, Jay, we want you to walk away with joint venture partners. So we put us into 20 breakout sessions, which is more than that not a typical event would be. But the whole objective was to put us face to face with other people so that we can get joint ventures going, right? What's the walk away tangible delivery you're looking for? Find an event with that promise and then participate. But go in paying attention. What am I specifically wanting to learn? How am I going to apply it? Right? And who am I going to connect with? Who's going to help me? What kind of community do I need? And then as you're doing all of this, really pay attention to how much you're participating and engaging versus observing. Make sure you go all in. I was at an MC, I was part of an MC group that I was checking out because we do a lot of MCing events as well. And one of the key threads that one of these experts was talking about was that our number one goal is to never get put on the background, right? How many times have you watched an event participate in an event and they're going and you can hear them and you got them on the back screen, but you're doing emails and you're in Facebook and you're running your business and running your life. That's awesome, but you are not in an immersive experience. So the whole 3-day connect a year's worth of relationship in 3 days, that doesn't apply to you because you're not immersed, right? You're just observing. So you're not actually connected and in the experience. So you'll still have an effect, but it won't be the desired effect because the whole event is designed to impact you. And you have to participate in order to make that happen, right? Please don't underestimate that. That'd be like saying, yeah, Cyndi, I know you're my wife on paper, but I'll see you in 6 weeks. I don't need to see you every day. I don't need to talk to you. I can just listen. I can do the emails and I'll figure it out. I'll see what you're about. I'll observe and I'll listen from the background. I can hear you working out. Therefore, I'm getting in shape, right? Same kind of, it doesn't work, right? So if you're going to be part of an event, unplug from other things and structure your time so that you can actually get the experience and then allow yourself time to, I got notes, I got 2 different notebooks going here, stuff, and I'm processing all of this stuff because I'm trying to apply and integrate these skills. Okay. So you need to be thinking about that with your live event. What are the things you need to sharpen? What skill sets do you need to sharpen? And where can you find that event? I can tell you this, whatever you're trying to accomplish, please let us know and I can point you the right direction, whether you need to focus on winning more clients without having to be a sales guru, awesome with us, whether you're trying to build your online summits or launches or change your health or get free from addictions. We are very well connected with a lot of people that we can hand you off to that with full trust and faith that they will take great care of you in delivering your outcome. But I want to encourage you to jump into an event. So type into the chat, what things do you need solved and where can you, what events are you looking for? If you could pick an event, which one would it be? And then if you're looking to put one on, what questions do you have about increasing the opportunities for success and conversions around that? Because we'd love to hear that too. And because we can help all of that.
Yeah. So I think, as we wrap up here, again, this is an incredible season because we you literally have 2 days left in the first 3 quarters of this year. Do you realize you are entering the last 90 days of what is most likely the wackiest, craziest year in history? None of us predicted this. And what Jim and I know to be true, and all of our colleagues and peers, is there is still a lot of time to win. It is absolutely possible for you to reach your pre-pandemic sales goals and targets in the next 90 days. If you do a few things, right? It's not going to magically fall out of the sky for you. Again, we're in live event season. So like Jim said, I suggest you really look at your business for the past 3 quarters. Where are you in relation to your goal that you set in January? Get really clear on where you are on your sales and revenue goal. And then reflect even further. Where are you struggling the most? Is it marketing? Is it messaging? Is it connecting with people because you just aren't connecting with people? Do you need help with copywriting? Whatever it is, do you need help with your pricing and your programs, webinars? And then find a live event that would support that. Because a live event, I remember going to our first one. I was barely out of corporate. We went to a live event. I only went because I wanted my $97 refundable night back. It's the only reason we went. We only booked the hotel for one night because I just wanted my $97 back. And I was sitting there watching our mentors who we ended up working with for 3 or 4 years, still dear friends. And I was like, who are these people? And why are they dressed like that? And why is she crying? And why are they so happy? And what are they talking about? And as the day progressed, I was like, I want us, me and Jim, to have what they have. I want their business. I want their life. I want their joy. I hadn't seen people be that happy and congruent with their business model. And by the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but we're buying. And we paid 5 figures cash the next day. So look for what do you need in your business or for you personally? Because this is a phenomenal opportunity for you to find your mentor, because you can collapse in 3 days and create an incredible bond. Because when you find a mentor, the best program you can enter is a group program as well, as far as Jim and I are concerned, because then you're part of a community. You aren't relying on one person to lead and guide you to your sales success.
And let me jump in on that real quick too, because I want you to be careful of thinking, I'm just going to say this, you got to take it away for however you need to take it. Most people don't know how they learn. Most people know how they think they like to learn. And a lot of times people say, well, I don't do good in a group. Or I don't work with one-on-one. It's like, bottom line is you need to put yourself, once you have an expert who can get you there, you need to trust them on their ability to teach what they're telling you they can do. Right? So you have some people who have mastered the group environment so well that it is as impactful. They've learned how to leverage community, content, and expertise, right, and accountability in such a way that you're going to get what you need. So when you say, well, I need to work one-on-one with somebody, well, maybe you don't. Maybe that's a crutch you've created for yourself, right? It's more so, and most of the time, because we haven't even truly assessed the problem we have really well to the point where we even know what we're trying to solve. But then we're trying to dictate how it's going to be solved. So just back up a bit from that. Trust the mentor, trust the expert that you're there with. And what I want to invite you to is, rather than jumping on a conversation with somebody for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and hoping for the best, go to an event, spend 3 days, AKA a year, observing them, interact with them, walk with them. We have 3 daughters who are adults, amazing humans with their own families and stuff now. They hated when they were growing up through high school. It was mandatory. If they were going to date somebody, I needed to spend time with them. I wanted to go play golf with them or go to a baseball game with them. 5 minutes at my doorstep, you can fool me into anything. 4 hours on a golf course, I'm going to get to know about you. Right? I want to know how you think, how you talk, how you respond to questions, how you respond to tough questions from an a-hole father who's not going to let you in. Right? But you can see this. You can watch this person over 3 days and go, wow, okay. There's some consistencies. Don't really like that, but I can overlook that. I like this though, right? But you can put yourself in a situation where you go, I feel good here, or this just isn't for me. But that's tougher to get out of a 60-minute conversation. So put yourself in a chance, give yourself the best opportunity to win.
Yeah. And I mean, as you can tell, we just really enjoyed our weekend and love live events, understand the true value of a live event as a business owner, producing one as a huge and awesome revenue stream to scale your business, or as an ever growing, always learning business owner. And you want to look at three things. You're looking for, as you're seeking an event, and then you're making a choice. You will make a choice at an event of how you move forward with this expert, influencer, coach, or consultant. And you're looking for a level of accountability. What accountability did they provide to you, and how did you show up? Did that happen in your 3 days? You're looking for a community. More so now than even pre-COVID, it is imperative that you expand your community with the like-minded, high-achieving people like you, also under the umbrella of an expert. So you're looking for accountability, community, and expert leadership and expertise when you choose who you're going to go spend 3 days with, or who you're going to say yes to mentoring with for the next year. We literally are on a mission to help people make more sales, to help entrepreneurs and business owners make more sales. That's the flag we are waving. That is our mission, the Make More Sales mission. And it's going to be imperative. Again, we are in one of the craziest times. We're coming to a boiling point in our nation with an election and all kinds of shenanigans on both sides to create division and divisiveness and distraction. And the true path through for you as a business owner is to make more sales, to secure your own future, secure your legacy, secure your own economy. It doesn't matter who wins in Washington. What matters is how you win, and you win by making more sales in a way that you do.
It's about winning customers instead of selling stuff. There's a distinct difference. Here's the last thought I want to leave you with, and you're going to hear this over and over from us. There's so much going on in the economy, and right now there's, again, the lockdowns are starting to happen again, and there's big predictions that millions of businesses that have to shut down a second time will never open back up. And as we move into 2021, we're going to start feeling more of the effects of that. And a lot of these people are going to be drowning and stuck. And if you wait until that time to start mastering the art of selling and winning customers, you're going to be too far behind to catch up. You need to start the process now so that when that hits, you're sitting on top of the mountain and you can help yourself and as many people as possible around you. So get involved, get serious now about winning customers more effectively. Jump in, let us help you. All right. Thanks so much for allowing us to be part of your success team. Have a fantastic 2 days, 3 days left. Closing. You got 28th, 29th, 30th. 3 days to make your month. Go make it happen.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Make More Sales podcast. If you like what you're hearing, you'll definitely want to check out our Make More Sales Facebook group, where you'll find more amazing content, including free sales training and live content happening every single week. So make sure to follow the link below to join. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show, and share it with your friends. That way, more people can learn how to make more sales without getting better at selling. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.